Okay. We need to take stock of our situation. I've heard of a little evacuation checkpoint west of our location. We need to establish from the off whether we're in good enough shape to go straight for it. Maybe we could find those friendlies, that bit of hope that we're desperate to find in this desolate wasteland that we've called home for all this time. Equipment wise, we know we got a couple of guns. We know we have range. Our clothing is okay. Our knife is worn. Our matches with 10 are pretty plentiful. Pretty plentiful in terms of ammo. Oxyclav, Nisa, Amoxavan, Erythepatin. And let's check our bag. Oh, we can't carry things because of the AK we're carrying. That shit, we've got a flare as well. Some damaged food, a potato. The potato is edible. Sleep could be an issue. Maybe we get a fire and a buff in one of these houses before we venture further down this coast. So the place I've heard of, where a lot of people ventured when they tried to get out of this hell. And I've heard on the grapevine that means Shit, what have we done? I panicked. I panicked. I didn't need to kill that man. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill him. Oh God. What have we done? We've murdered a man. In cold blood. Look what this world is doing to me. His name is Karalti Shakel. Oh no. Oh my God, what have I done? Doesn't look like he'd been around a long time. Didn't look like he'd been of this world, of this land, for too long. And I put him down. Without questioning, without speaking. forgives me. I hope God can forgive me for what I have done. Didn't even have much that I could justify the killing with. That he possibly stood between me and finding my family. Is that my justification? My mind has now gone a little bit on the crazy side of life. Would I even be able to sleep knowing the horrors that I've just committed? Literally for nothing. It's not the first murder we've committed, but it's the first murder I feel we've committed in cold blood, not out of necessity. I don't feel extremely proud about this at the moment. I don't feel proud. I don't even know if we would be able to sleep. Like I said, even to doze. Just to maybe recover a sentiment of normality. I have to try. Oh, I have to try. I have to try. And if we get our body warm, even if our soul has just become colder than we would like, maybe if we get our body warm, we can sleep off some of this guilt. I mustn't be too hard on myself, though. I must acknowledge that it's been a long while, since we saw another person in this hellhole. We don't know if he was hostile or not. He looked unarmed. For some reason, he looked like he was in trouble with a couple of Zeds. He had a bandage. Maybe this is God's punishment now. We don't seem to be able to even strike a match. There we go. Let's get warm. Let's see where we are in our skill tree. Oh. We have extra cold resistance. I feel like I should bake this potato while we have a fire going. People may think it's a waste of the use of a knife, which is now worn. I think it was worn already. Could have done with picking up that. Do we need the foot wraps? I don't think we need the foot wraps. I think the element of stealth is gone. So a little risky. Let's try and block out the horrors. If fate is such a thing in this cruel world, someone might see our fire now and put us out of our misery. Like get revenge for that poor fella we just executed. Did we do him a favor though? I'm starting to think that if someone did that to us, to me, it wouldn't be the craziest outcome. We've only just hit white again. We're gonna eat our potato and we're gonna return to the scene of the crime, which is never a good thing. Or should we just go west? Yeah, we should just go west. We've done what we've done. We have to live with it. We got 30 winks. We gotta stay focused. Our mission was to see if this west evacuation point was indeed a thing. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep going west. And we're just gonna think of that poor chap. And we're gonna think of it in the most positive way. Hopefully, we just reunited him with loved ones. If one could be so lucky. If only one could be so lucky. I think hugging the coast makes sense. I'm determined though to try and talk to other survivors if we see them. That chap back there really gave me the heebie-jeebies when I opened the door. Aimed my gun in. 90%, 95% of me was thinking there is not going to be anybody in this establishment, and out of the corner of my eye I see someone in a crouched position doing something with his hands. I couldn't be sure, but he wasn't reloading a pistol or reaching for a knife or a blade or any sort of weapon. So I had to act, and yeah, it's one of those things. Good job we got that heat buff from that fire back there. Looks like a blizzard is coming in, or is in. And we are walking around with our gun out, so we are gonna be looking a threat to anybody who spots us in the distance. Talking of distance, I probably should walk around with my rifle in my hand with a scope, because we're out of town. If we see someone now, it's likely to be at a fair distance. I've heard about a gas station that leads up to this west evacuation point. There's a bridge. Okay. I think we'll go past the bridge if we can. Oh, there's the gas station. Okay. Looks deserted. Let's get a bit closer. Longer, but this life has taken its toll. Our poor old Joe and his body and his lung capacity by the looks of it. Bear this in mind, this little bridge would offer a bit of protection, wouldn't be a bad place to fish. Potentially. That little nap has worn off. I can see vehicles in the distance. See the undead in their droves. And if my sources are correct, then a military checkpoint, maybe just beyond. Maybe some hope. I've heard of another large military establishment in that direction. Polana. Zelenogorsk, names that keep coming up. I don't standing still for long, but we need to see if there's any signs of life around these vehicles. Other desperate survivors like ourselves. We would have to be extremely careful if we engage now. I don't know whether our mind would be able to take, at this present time anyway, another murder. I don't think our brain would be able to process another murder in such a short space of time. So unless that was taken out of our hands and we had to defend ourselves, we would have to approach the next situation with another survivor with that in mind. There's a lot of abandoned vehicles, which could mean abandoned food, equipment. But I don't like the situation of the vehicles. Tree line, the hill. If I were an absolute bandit, and we can't rule those folks out. Oh, military compounds. If I were an absolute out and out bandit, there's not many better places than those there hills to look down on this military base and maybe pick off some unsuspecting soul like myself. Maybe we would deserve it now, though, after what happened to Mr. Shakel back there. Rest in peace, Mr. Shakel. I hope your next life is better than this one, than the one you just had. I can see some undead milling around. We have to equip our close quarters weapon. We are carrying an AK-47, an AKS, a baby AK some people would call it. If we could find a magazine for that, then this shotgun would then become obsolete, in my humble opinion. First of all, the visibility actually helps us if someone was sniping on them there hills. They'd have trouble picking us out here. The zombies haven't had any trouble though. The zombies have heard me. Or a zombie has heard me. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Because he could alert the others. Where did he go? The one that was close. Oh, there. Seems to have lost the scent. For now. Let's check the tents furthest away from those abominations. That once were poor souls, of course. We can't forget that. Seems to be a lot of tactical vests around. I mean, a universal flashlight would be handy if we had a gun that would facilitate its application, but we don't. We only have an IEJ pistol, which I do believe is incompatible with such flashlights. Smoke grenade. We'll take it. You never know. Could be of use. Could be of use to us. I'd like to check that Humvee vehicle. But I want to make sure, first of all, there's not too many bogeys. Potential bogeys. Is that a black field jacket? It is. That's a beautiful jacket. It's in pristine condition as well. It's the same capacity as our firefighter jacket. We're taking a risk here, standing still in the military for so long, but I like that look. We could get some sort of matching pants, maybe cargo pants. feel that would be better. Damn it. I have to expose myself to some of these. I wish I had a suppressed weapon. This is our first bit of trouble. See if someone's creeping on the hill. Shit. No field vests that we don't need. I was hoping I would get an AK magazine, but it's to no avail. What is that over there? Some sort of military vehicle. Let's retrace our steps and... That's the tent we got our jacket in. Our new jacket. Anything around that van, no. Our stealth gets better. Combat jacket in bad condition. Another field vest. Our stealth has increased to 15, we saw. We've got one more tent and one sort of sandbag bunker thing there to check. It's a holster, which would only go on an actual belt rather than a... Because if we did get a belt, an army tactical belt, or even a plate carrier, God help us if we found one of them. Oh, some ammunition. Not the ammunition we're looking for, though. Probably should have searched the military zombie that we killed. What if this one will hear us climb? The ironic thing is we're going to have to go back to the scene of our murder. Ooh, 762 by 59. I don't think we've got any of that, have we? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna leave the 9mm. Search this chap because he's inside. Got a bit of cover to search him. Nothing. Right, we've got a bit of 762. We've got a better jacket, but I can't say, hand on heart, feels like a fantastic success coming down here. Stealth and athletic ability improved. But we're going to need to address food in the not too distant future. We're going to have to address water. There's another Humvee. Still wary of this hillside. Oh look, is that another one of those oh no, it's BDU pants. Black BDU pants. Oh wow. We said if we could find matching black pants it would be good. This is a really crazy spot to stop. I'm change our clothing. But wow. If I do say so myself, that is a huge improvement on our yellow firefighter pants, which are going to show up even if we're hunkered down in a bush trying to hide from someone. It's going to show up. Whereas this all black look, in terms of our body anyway, and even our backpack is grey. It's something. We're getting tired, we're getting hungry. We've got food that we could defrost, but we wouldn't be able to eat it without getting the stomach upset. Before we head to Polana, Zelenogorsk, these places we've heard where there could be other survivors who have got information of how we can perhaps get out of this hellhole. Yet again, we're going to need another fire. Yet again, we're going to have to look death in the face in terms of our food and water. Shit. Even with this blizzard, and with their dead brains, they seem to be able to hear. Look, they're looking around for me. They hear my footsteps. We need to stay wide of them. We know if we hug this coastline, we can't go wrong in terms of retracing our steps. The road that leads up to the next military base, and also it's the next town that I know of, I've heard of, that has a medical facility, so somewhere where we could perhaps find more anti-stomach medication that we could then use to eat our moldy food and not get too sick, so that we're actually throwing up and wasting the calorific content, wasting the water that we may consume. Just looking then to see if we had another hook on a boat, although our hook is still pristine, so we've got that one in the bag. At the minute we're carrying this AK-47. Damn it, it wasn't even loaded with a shot. Goddamn should have been. That's a powerful round right there, and especially coming from only a worn weapon. 5.45 round will put someone down, and we got 12 shots of it that I know of. So it's certainly a formidable one-shot weapon, even until we can find a magazine to go with it. Then it becomes something else, you know? Then it becomes a very, very powerful machine. Pardon, Joseph. This potato. Slightly repeating on me there. You know, this was the train bridge, the road bridge that was opposite the gas station. Visibility is incredibly poor. If we follow this train track, this road that is just up ahead, we will go back to the town, back to our nightmares. We may have to even face up again to what we did to that chap early doors. But it's a cruel world, and I think we have to get over it quickly, otherwise what's the point? We might as well just end it all now on the beach if we can't live with these situations that occur. We haven't got long left in this world, though. I don't know how long Joseph can continue this hopelessness before he finally cracks. Search for Joanne and the family, the kids. It's not turning up any leads. It's just turning up more pain, more torment. There's only so much anybody can take. When we feel like we're getting somewhere, this world throws a blizzard in our face. Takes our last match away from us. Ruins our last blade. We will keep on keeping on for now. Very easy to get lost in these conditions, and that will be as good as a death sentence. I do believe I haven't deviated too far away from our intended goal, though. If I'm correct, it should be the road itself coming up now. That leads back to the town where our latest adventure started, where our latest crime against humanity occurred. And again, we could do with the fire, we could do with some rest. We may have to defrost our food that is moldy. But we're certainly not going to go back to where we made our last fire. Or where we put that gentleman out of his misery, should we say. We're going to take the higher ground of town, because we're still in the light blue, we're not losing health. We're trying to swerve the undead as best we can. Maybe this house would be a good choice for its height. Easy to defend, and away from the main road, and in this blizzard our smoke may even be disguised. Smoke from our fire. This door here in this building is open. Is this one open? No. We've got rags. We don't need to use our knife to get bark. We can use rags for the kindling as long as it's not too damp to catch. Otherwise we will need to get bark from one of these trees. Let's deal with one thing at a time. First thing, fuel for the fire. Second thing, the only thing we have worth defrosting. That's still 80 degrees. Does keep its heat well, doesn't it? Oh yeah, and also we need to see if this damp rag, will it even ignite? We have matches, we have flares. Oh wow, okay. First time. What I need to do, I need to use this opportunity to have a recap of what medication we have on us, what it does. I'm almost positive that none of it does what we need it to do at this present time. We're lying in front of the fire so we can't get capped through the window. easily. And our medication that we would need ideally would be our anti-food poisoning medication. Okay, and the medication we have is amoxiclav, which doesn't do that. Misa, which doesn't do that. Amoxavan, which doesn't help. Amibactam doesn't help food poisoning or stomach aches. And neither does cipralate. Erythropoietin doesn't help either. While we're on this subject though, our mental state has obviously been affected from our encounter with that chap. And we don't have anything to improve that either. So this food that we're going to take with us, this mouldy food, just checking our equipment. Our boots are damaged already. Were they worn or pristine when we put them on? Can't remember, that could be an issue. Well, let's force our chap to have 40 winks by here. Just while we think of our next move. Okay, so the obvious thing is to go up the road. Go up the road to Polana. While he's sleeping, let's just pause this a second. There'll be no breaks in it for you guys. Okay. He's still in the yellow. We've got the buff, but we haven't seen any improvement in the sleep state. If we head up to Polana, I've heard on the way to the town there is a medical facility, a military facility, but sometimes it can be gassed where you can't go in without dying, without the right respiratory equipment. If that's true, then we would have to push on into the town itself, and I've heard there is a well at that town. And a hunting shop. And then beyond that is Zelenogorsk. And in Zelenogorsk you have a medical facility. I thought there was a road up here. Not that one. I thought there was another one. Could be wasting that heat buff that we just got. Too long. We take the north road out. I think it's a different road. I may be getting confused by the conditions. If I was here, I've lost a little help we got from that little sleep as well. As the cold kicks in. We don't want to deviate from that road too much in these conditions. I don't want to take on 3 of the undead in such close proximity. We use the blizzard for cover. It doesn't seem to have worked for that chap. He spotted us from miles away. Move. We need to use this heat buff to its entirety to get us close to the nearest town, the nearest available place where we can make another fire. Perhaps we should have been considering fishing. Perhaps that will be our next port of call, our next... if we can get to Polana, from research I've done in the past, there is a little lake behind the town, a little pond that would be ideal for fishing. And then you've got the buildings of Polana itself to hopefully, safely cook the fish in and to fill our bellies with fish before heading towards the undoubted dangers of a large military town like Zelenogorsk is meant to be. It does seem prudent to do that, to fill our bellies and not go into a huge military compound with the danger of running red for food, becoming sick from having to eat unclean food. Not just a rock, yeah, it is. That was some sort of bunker or something then. It's just the shape of the rock. Looks pretty cool though. March on. Had little scraps of rest, but we certainly can't be resting out in these conditions. We have to push on. We have to get to the next town. And we can consider our next moves there. And at the moment, it's highly likely that that would be fishing, cooking. Just had a thought as well. If we were to be fortunate enough to be pushed by wolves, whichever way you look at it, then, you know, that could be our food situation cleared up for a little while. That would have been a good place to deal with the wolves as well. If we're caught in the open, even with a shotgun, even with the guns we've got now, we know the wolves can be ruthless. And like I said, I don't know how much more of this Joseph can mentally, physically take, so it would probably be his wish fulfilled, really. We can finally rejoin our family in the afterlife, if there is such a thing. In worst case scenario, we get to escape this horror for eternal rest. But I'll fight on, we'll fight on until that moment happens. We won't be joining Mr. Shakel just yet, I hope. Not just yet. Head torch. It's red, but it's going to be hugely helpful when the nighttime hits. Well, we wouldn't want to be using it around a town. Or look at that! Look at the sun breaking through the blizzard, doing its best to break through. What a wonderful sight. Even though the horrors we've witnessed in this journey. The horrors. Sometimes you can turn and see something as beautiful as that. Ooh, a hunting stand. Can always be good. Just check the condition. Yeah. Good thing that all the guns we've got at the moment, anyway, are in good condition. And we have a gun cleaning kit on us. It would be nice if we could. I don't know what it would be nice if we could find up here. Okay. 5.56 by 45 rounds. Badly damaged, but we're not gonna pass them up, and the blizzard has stopped. So are we finally gonna get some respite here? I wonder what would happen if we nibbled ever so gently on our food. I don't think it's worth it at the moment. I think we're close enough. If my navigational skills are correct, I think we're close enough to Palana town, and therefore close enough to the to be able to fish near Palana town, but we don't have to consider making ourselves ill from eating the mouldy food just yet anyway. We are in yellow food, so we are going to have to attempt to fish up here. We always knew that was going to be the case. And what we'll probably do is stash our AK rifle so that we can put our shotgun on our back while we're getting the equipment and doing everything that's needed to be able to fish. Now the military zone is in those trees there. Because of the weather conditions, beautiful as it is as the sun goes down, I can't tell if that is filled with toxic gas or not. Usually it would have a green hue around it. There does seem to be some sort of, but that could just be a fog. I think we need to address food anyway, and we can't go in there on the hope of finding some tactical bacon or tuna. Oh, that is definitely gassed, yeah. There's the green. There's the green gas. So that would be the fatal error. If we'd have just chanced it and charged in. That tower there isn't gassed. Oh, there's a few military zombies hanging around there. Can I see an entrance up ahead? I believe there is an entrance, and the smoke doesn't seem to have been spread in right up to the front door per se. And this police shack here might be unaffected. I've heard rumours that you can get into this police shack, and there's a couple of military containers beyond that you can get into as well, without being affected by the gas. And Palana is literally just up the road. You could almost see it if the conditions were better. Scorpion, not interested. Definitely unaffected by the gas, because otherwise this undead soul wouldn't be giving us the welcoming committee that he is. We'll search him while we're indoors. If we needed rope, that would have been handy, but I'm almost 100% sure we have. Oh my word, we don't have rope. Really? What we do now... How was I planning on fishing then? How have we fished before? Did I do it with a real fishing rod and then discard the fishing rod? Our bone knife being damaged is a major issue. But that's a huge find on that Z then. If we were running around with no rope. Oh, we've got the rope belt. Idiot. Absolute idiot. So I've just used that bone knife for nothing. By the time I dig up a couple of worms, we're going to need to find... We're going to need to find another blade, probably, to cut up the fish. Oh, they're killed by the gas. I panicked then. I thought, how have they died? Who has killed them? And it looks like they're just inside the gas zone. Let's get out of here. We've got some extra rope anyway. Okay, it can't harm having a bit of extra rope. We may get lucky and find a blade or two in the buildings. Well, we will need to get lucky and find a blade or two in the buildings of Polana themselves if we are going to successfully catch and eat fish. We're going to need more than a couple of uses on a bone knife. Otherwise we will have to nibble at the mouldy food that we have and just put up with the stomach cramps, the pain that will accompany eating the mouldy food without the medication, as we're all aware of by now. I'm sure the lake is down there somewhere. From memory of wandering these lands in better times, in better conditions, certainly better visibility. Working gloves are medium as well in terms of insulation. We have to loot, so we're going to have to be careful the way we approach this. We've got to try and find a blade before we go and even attempt to fish. And it may be that we have to search the infected and hope they drop a bone. Or a blade itself. Oh, look at this. Ah, shit. God damn it. One bone doesn't do it. If we find a blade, we're going to have to drop that. Oh no, we're not going to have to drop the spare rope. If it's an actual blade, we can put it on the rope knife. Oh no. We were stuck on something then. Yes, over here, chap. There you go. Oh no. Oh no. Pain. I thought that was concussion for a second. It's pain. We can live with pain. A little bit more looting. And then it's gonna be in the next part that you see the outcome of this trip to Polana, really. We know we can access the well. Oh god. No stamina. Search this one. Search these couple of buildings and sheds, and then it'll be in the next part. Oh, God. glasses. Why would we need glasses? Things seem to be stuttering for Joseph as well. Let's check this shed. Oh my word. Now that is what is known in the industry as clutch. The rope out there is worn, that's worn. So we now know we can fish. We don't need to loot town anymore. We don't need to get involved with any Zeds, pick up any more pain or contusions. We can see all these lovely buildings that we can use to cook fish. And we have found a blade that is pristine. So with our bone knife we can dig up as many worms as possible before it ruins. And then with all those lovely worms we can try and catch as many fish as we can. Bearing in mind the carry capacity is going to be an issue. We're going to have to ferry our fish from this lake, for example, to that wood cabin there, because that will be probably the safest place to cook it. But because of that find, because of that crude machete that we have found, I fancy Joseph's chances now of making an attempt to get to Zelenogorsk. And when we pick things up in the next part of our adventure, we will be starting to fish by here, and hopefully we'll be able to do it without too many issues. We're going to need to do it promptly. We're going to need to eat and sleep before we go to Zelenogorsk. But we will see you in the next one, and as always I hope you're enjoying watching Joe suffer. See you in the next one, folks.